Ladies and gentlemen, we are back with a quick video for the June 25th patch update. I'm not going to go into any crazy discussions or anything like that. If you're not interested in hearing patch notes, you can skip this one. Let's go over to the patch notes. So this first group is bug fixes. I'm just going to go down the list here. Fix an issue where the display resolution could change unpredictably when launching the game. Fixed an issue where the ranger could become stuck while holding a drawn bow after using overdraw. That's actually happened to me before in arenas, and I couldn't shoot for the rest of the game, so that really sucked. Fix an issue where the ranger's bow holding pose could appear incorrectly when equipping nimble hands and applying the succubus survival bow skin. Fixed an issue where an unintended option could be selected after opening and closing the spell or emote wheel. Fixed an issue where pirate monsters could immediately attack players at different elevations without properly pursuing them. Fixed an issue where pirate monsters might not play their hit reaction animation correctly when struck. Fixed an issue where skeleton archer projectile speed could become faster than intended. Fix an issue where living statues could leave behind lingering hitboxes after being defeated, blocking projectiles and attacks. Fix an issue where fire spirits in ambush mode might not prioritizing attacking a newly summoned Hydra within attack range. Fix an issue where the demon overseer would stop attacking when another player performed a ranged attack during melee combat. Fix an issue where bandages could be placed in unintended locations within the waiting room when transitioning to the next floor. Fix an issue where blocking druid animal form attacks or warlock demon form attacks with the Zweihander could play unintended sound effects. Fix an issue where the parry sound effect of the demon's glee could differ from that of the rapier. Fix an issue where blocking communications was applied on a character basis rather than account basis for features such as whispers. Fix an issue where messages could reappear upon entering a dungeon or lobby, even after using the clear all chats button. That's definitely happened to me. Fix an issue where the eye appearance of the succubus race could look different in the shop compared to in-game. Fix an issue where the highest scoring character of the same class might not be correctly reflected on the arena leaderboard. Fix an issue where players who have achieved the Warlord rank in solo or duo arena could appear as Vanquisher rank on the leaderboard. Okay. All right, and then here are some game updates. Looks like the early access Season 9 rewards for Flex Arena and Adventure rank have been revealed. We'll go through those later. The sales of the early access Season 9 season pack will end on July 10th. Okay, I assume if nobody's picked it up at this point, probably not going to pick it up. Early access Season 9 will end on July 17th. The Arena season will end on July 6th. So that's coming up. High Roller Dungeon entry requirements have been changed to a minimum gear score of 280 based on equipped items. The entry fee has been increased to 500 gold. A gambler's token worth 500 gold will now be granted upon entry and can be sold to a merchant after successfully extracting from the dungeon. Okay. That's kind of like a dog tag. That's kind of the feeling I'm getting from that, but it's kind of neat. We'll have to see how it plays out. I haven't played any games in High Roller yet. The item rarity restrictions for entering each dungeon in normal mode have been adjusted. The Forgotten Castle allows up to common rarity items, the Ashen Range up to uncommon, Frost Mountain up to rare, and the Blue Maelstrom up to epic. This is for normal mode, so that's kind of strange. We'll go through that later in-game. Quick access inventory will also be displayed when players ready up for the normal mode dungeons. Okay, cool. So you can get bandages and potions and stuff like that. Players can now view the possible minimum and maximum value ranges of the random item modifiers by holding the Alt key while viewing item tooltips or enabling the option in the settings. The English name of the Haze Blade has now been changed from Haze Blade to Merrymaker. Huh. Okay. Found by designation will now be applied to items recovered through Expressman and items crafted in the workshop. Found by designation will now be applied to items recovered through the expressman and items crafted in the workshop. Okay, so that just means that whenever you send something out through the expressman, it'll actually show that you pulled it out rather than just not having anything, just like saying looted or something like that, which is kind of cool, and was more important when you needed that found by with your name designation in order to be able to play arena with, like, you know, a self-found kit, although that doesn't really matter anymore. So that's probably why they're changing it, because now you just buy your kit from the market. So let's see. Whispers will no longer be displayed while in game. I did notice that. Doesn't seem like, I don't know, it felt like chat was disabled the last time I played arenas this past week. Couldn't chat to your team. So I assume, I can only imagine why they did that. I don't know. Not everybody's nice. That's just the way it is, I guess. Let's see. Improved loading speed for the news window. Improved anti-cheat detection. Cool. Okay, that's all good. Balance updates general. Okay. Slightly increase the chance of obtaining epic rarity items from chests, monsters, and treasure rooms in high roller dungeons. Okay, so loot pool is better. Increase the chance of obtaining rare and epic rarity items from chests, monsters, bosses, and treasure rooms in the normal dungeons. Increase the base goblin recovery rate at 0 affinity from 0 to 40% in both normal and high roller dungeons. Okay, so that means that you don't need to do any quests for the goblin merchant in order for him to return some of your gear. And I guess if you do some of those quests, he'll just give you more of your gear back, which, that's good, I guess. It feels less bad when you're able to recover some gear. So at least that's something. Increase the adventure points earned when going down a floor from 50 to 100. They're just making it easier to climb. I feel like it was very easy this time around. I've never gotten Demigod in the past, simply because I just never had enough time to play, and I didn't feel like grinding. Like, it just really felt like the people who wanted to get Demigod would just go a class that could farm really easily, like Bard or Rogue or something like that, and just go into High Roller Frost Caves and just go all the way down and farm and loot as much as they can and just get out over and over and over again until they got to Demigod. It wasn't really like an expression of skill, as opposed to like just, I don't know. I mean, I guess it is skillful, but it's still not like what most people would consider, you know, the skill of just playing the game and fighting other players. You're just kind of running away and trying to stay alive. So that's really just more what that shows. So I don't know why they did that. I don't feel like it was necessary, because I played, I mean, within a week or two of playing just normally through the dungeon, and I think by the time Arena came out, I was already Demigod, and that's kind of unusual for me. So I'm sure that other people have had the same experience where you've probably just been sitting on Demigod for the entire season. And I remember actually seeing like the streamers who were playing like 24/7 at the start of the wipe. They were Demigod within like day 2. So it was already kind of fast. So that's just an interesting change. So it slightly increased the chance for boss rooms to appear in the Crypt, Inferno, and Inferno in Squire Royale mode. Reduce the difficulty of certain quests required by Tavern Master, Weaponsmith, and Leathersmith. I do feel like some of those quests are a bit of a slog. And honestly, if you have a job, you're just not going to do them. Especially because the market, once the market comes out, it kind of invalidates a lot of the bonuses and perks that you get from being able to craft anything. Because like just crafting stuff just gives you usually bad rolls unless you're like spamming a craft over and over and over again, or you just get super lucky. So I don't know. I don't know how they can make it better other than to just make something like vendor specific where you can't obtain it through the market. You just cannot circumvent. You can't use the market to circumvent what the vendor can do for you. But maybe that's just an improvement that needs to be made with the way that the vendors work. The dizziness effects from Ale, Bats, and Merrymaker are no longer affected by graphic settings. Merrymaker is the Haze Blade, so we covered earlier. All right, so these are class updates. Fighter. Shield Mastery now applies to a single melee attack made within 1 second of a successful block. Okay. Ranger. Longbow animations have been slowed. Oh my god. I actually noticed that. I didn't even realize that this was a thing until I'm reading this now. So, yeah. Longbow feels super bad. Super bad. And its arrow count has been reduced from 6 to 5. The effective range of Point Blank Expert has been increased from 450 units to within 600 units. Okay. I mean, they just want people to play closer. That's really the whole point of that. And I don't know. Let's go check the next one. The minimum effective range of Longshot Expert has been increased from 650 to 700, while the range required to reach its maximum effect has been reduced from 2500 to 1500. Okay. Well, 2500 was like a full module. I don't actually know. I don't have a way to measure what the units are, but I think Critical Vix was doing some testing, and he was noticing that on the previous long shot, it was like almost like a full length of a module was 2500 before it starts to kick in the damage. So having it be at 1500 means that this ability will probably be useful in more cases than it was before, because otherwise it was just useful in like one module, which was like Bridge in Ruins. I don't know if I like these changes, to be honest. I don't know. I'm a Ranger main, so I'm definitely biased, but I don't know. I feel like the longbows can definitely feel oppressive in arenas because there's just a lot of mages and Rangers. It's just that mode is biased for those classes, but I feel like making Point Blank Expert better and making the longbow worse is just funneling people into, in my opinion, the most like cancerous way to play Ranger, which is just going like survival bow, fast move speed, and just either like armor shred and as close to true fizz as you can get on like the weapon, you know, Point Blank Expert, and just fast movement and kinesthesia. So it just means that you're basically moving at almost the same move speed even with your bow drawn. It's easy to use, it's effective, and it's very annoying to play against. I don't understand why they would do that. I feel like dying to a longbow ranger, at least you know, and you can only shoot like one shot every few seconds in like a normal situation. But I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I don't want to linger on that too much. That definitely feels bad though. Barbarian, remove the cooldown reduction effect from Treacherous Lungs. Wizard, melts projectile damage reduction penalty reduced from 10% to 5%. Okay. Druid, Dreamwalk duration increased from 2 seconds to 3 seconds. Okay, I don't have a feeling on that one. I feel like Dreamwalk's a very strong ability, so making it longer, yeah, I don't know. I guess we'll have to see. How do people feel about that? Bard, Lore Mastery's additional memory capacity increased from 5 to 10, adjusted the performance time scaling curve of Persuasiveness. Accelerando and Allegro now scale with Resourcefulness, and stacks now increase every 2 seconds instead of 1 second. Okay, that sounds like a nerf. Accelerando move speed adjusted from 135 to 234. So seems like a nerf. Definitely feels like a nerf. Allegro action speed adjusted from 4.5 to 6%. Or sorry, 4.5, 6% to 5%. So that's definitely a nerf for sure. Ballad of Courage music tier changed from 1 to 3, also a nerf. Ballad of Courage now affects party members and has a duration of 6 seconds. Okay. All right, well, that could balance itself out. I guess you're giving a party-wide buff. Jolly Time now additionally grants 5 vigor. So, I don't know. I feel like there's some good stuff and some bad stuff in there. But I'm not a Bard main, so I play Bard with some degree of efficiency, but I don't know it well enough to know if this is like a net positive or a net negative. So I guess you guys will have to let me know. Sorcerer, Air Master's Air Magic Knockback Power Bonus reduced from 25% to 15%. Reduce the knockback distance of Wind Blast and Vortex. Eruption activation delay increased from 0.75 seconds to 0.85 seconds. Flame Strike Fire Magical Damage increased from 25 to 30. Fire Arrow Fire Magical Damage increased from 7 to 8. Mana Flow now grants 1 stack whenever a spell is successfully cast within 3 seconds. Each stack grants additional 5% Magic Pen, stacking up to 3 times. Okay. Apex of Sorcery now additionally grants 25% action speed while casting spells. Innate talent now grants 5 additional 5 memory capacity. Okay, that kind of sounds like a net nerf for sorcerers that kite and just a buff for the ones that just want to get in and fight. But again, I'm not a sorcerer main. Let me know how you feel in the comments. Items. The gear score value of weapons, shields, and lanterns have been adjusted by rarity. Socketed gems now provide additional gear score, while utility items no longer provide gear score. Increased sling reload speed, throw animation, and projectile velocity. Sling stone maximum stack size increased from 5 to 10. Does anyone even use sling? Like, I don't think I've seen a single person use sling since that came out. It's like a troll item. I just, okay. Developer comments. This update brings several large changes to High Roller and normal dungeons. We have now added a minimum gear score requirement along with higher entrance fee to the High Roller dungeons to heighten their identity as a high-risk, high-reward venue. To offset the higher fees, all adventurers that enter the HR dungeons now receive a gambler's token that they can be sold on extraction to recoup their costs. I think they mean that can be sold. Taking risk to the fullest. HR Dungeoneers can also collect the tokens of their slaughtered foes for greater rewards or just for bragging right. All right. We've also seen continual improvement with the new player retention due to recent onboarding and gating improvements. Based on this encouraging data, we updated the entrance restrictions of the normal dungeon to give each dungeon a more defined place in the overall progression journey. This also means finding better loot through the dungeons to make the progress smoother. I don't know how I feel about that. I feel like Crypts is arguably one of the funnest maps, and they've just dumbed it down to white gear. So you can't go in there and pull out gear and then go right back in, because you basically have to go back in as Squire. So I don't know how I feel about that, but we'll look at it in game. This update also reveals the seasonal rewards at the end dates of Early Access Season 9. This is in line with our plans of going with more predictable cadence for each season as we build up to version 1.0. We still have a way to go, but we look to add good content with each wipe going forward. This includes continuing to flesh out classes and give players the proper canvas to build their fantasy character. Finally, we have an update planned next week to usher in the end of season events. Adventurer can expect boosted loot and return of artifact arenas for the final weeks of the season. I mean, it does seem like they just boosted the loot just all around. So I guess we'll see how that feels like. Again, this update came out today, June 25th. So this is fresh. Let's go in game. Okay. So I guess one of the first things to point out here is now the Forgotten Castle no longer has an entrance gear limit of rare, which was blue. Now, yeah, so Forgotten Castle is common, Goblin Caves, green, Frost Mountain, blue, Maelstrom, epic. I don't know if I like that, but we'll see how it plays out. And it looks like if you want to play High Roller, you now have a required gear score of 280 to get in. And the ante is 500. So just getting out will probably more than cover this. I don't want to say tenfold, but a lot-fold. So that's probably fine. Again, this just came out today, so I haven't had a chance to play it. High Roller bonus plus 50% AP. Okay, cool. Squire Royale. Nothing changed in Squire Royale, I don't think. Other than the boss arenas. Arena opens in 3 hours. Nothing changed in PvE, I don't think. Okay. Seasons. Alright, so the rewards are the ones that matter. Let's go. See, at Pathfinder, the blue rank, you get an Ember Flame Skeleton. It is an undead creature reborn from molten depths. Crimson fire pulses through the cracks in its blackened bones, and its body radiates intense heat. Okay, that's kind of cool. Voyager Snapfire. Okay, that's an emote at the purple rank. Exemplar gives you an ancient runic brazier. Is that a campfire? Doesn't even say. I'm assuming that's a campfire. And then you get a runic lantern. It's a campfire skin and a lantern skin. Their runic, I don't even know what that would be, like a style, runic style. It's got runes on it. Just looks like Skyrim-ish, whatever. 21 days left for the current season. 10 days left, 10 days and 3 hours left for the current arena season. So we're gonna have probably this week and next week, and that's it. That's all we're getting. As far as the leaderboard scores, it seems like from what they were saying in the patch that they might open it afterwards, I guess after the arena closes, to artifacts. So it sounds like you'll be able to bring in your artifact in. Okay, let's see. Is there anything else that changed? Don't think so. Oh yeah, they added the succubus skin. Which you've probably seen in the I don't know, like the previews on YouTube or people running around with it. It's a little weird. Hold on. All right, if anybody's listening, I'm just showing the succubus skin right now. Game is saved. I don't know. It's all right, I guess. It's a nice looking skin. I'm not gonna say it's bad, so I like it. I'm about it. I'm not about it being like $14 or whatever this amounts to. Yeah, so it's like they're trying to charge $14 for the succubus skin. Is that worth $14? I don't know. Probably not. Yeah, definitely not. That's a I'll wait till it's out on Blues and then pick it up. But I think that's it, guys. That's all we're covering. That was a short one. I had a couple thoughts on it. I'm not sure how I feel about it. I just played earlier today. I played a game, just a squire in a normal dungeon, and I hadn't read the patch notes yet. And I did notice how slow the bow feels. In fact, I'll just show it. It's so bad. It feels so bad. Let's just go in. Make sure I have potions. Oh yeah. I don't know if you noticed there, but my bow got stashed before I could hit join because it has to be common loot. So that's the that new system at play. It was asking me whether to buy potions, but also to put away to stash stuff. Wow, look how slow that is. Jeez. That's horrible. That's horrible. Wow. I do not know how I feel about that. No, I know how I feel about it. I hate it. So, anyhow, that's it. That's everything. I'm signing off. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Peace.